Hi, Reverend. How you doing? By now, your email is getting choked up because of some of the videos I'm sending over to you and some of the other stuff that earlier this morning that I came across, including Trump stuff. You know, while you were checking on everybody else, I was doing a search, and yeah, it's still out there regarding the golden calf boy, shall we call him, biting the butt. Uh, Concerning about the C9 bill, we don't hear it in the States because it's not making the national news. If there was international news regarding this thing, it would have been catching some attention, but not out here in the States. At least not that have been posted. But it has been posted. There are news stories concerning about it. I did a search even while you were talking about the Canadian thing. And yeah, New York Post got it. Um, iPolitics in your area. Independent Journal Review got it days ago. So in your territory of Canada, they've got it, but the United States, not so much. Not so much. In regarding the hate speech being legalized, there have been United States Supreme Court decisions on that one. Had to redefine it right after Skokie. Skokie, if I haven't told you about this one, I'll tell it to you again. But if you remember this one, fast forward, will you? Skokie, Illinois was being visited by the American Nazi Party, and they picked out a Jewish community to terrorize. The police were called, the Nazis were arrested, they were put through a local trial, and found guilty. They appealed and went all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, there's a catch on this. At that time, it was considered hate speech, didn't have any laws to counter it.
Currently, Bill C9 still leaves the question whether the federal government is willing to extend hate speech laws to cover that denial. There is part of it's already in the Canadian Criminal Code about the Holocaust.
I'm catching your thing live here. A lot of file, but just to continue on. During the 70s, early 70s, when this law came out, they didn't have anything on the books concerning about hate speech being illegal. But they looked at hate speech as basically part of speech, and they had a right to say. If they were protesting against the government, that's one thing. But what do we know about the racial people at this point over here? They want to go against anybody else to get their heckles up and then get the jollies going. And they wanted to scare, dismay, and feel the power and everything else going on, like hate speech generally does. But the Supreme Court ruled for the American Nazi Party because Skokie, Illinois, denied First Amendment rights. But the mechanism of how they wanted to do this. You see, the Nazi Party wanted to go through a neighborhood and terrorize the crap out of them by marching and yelling and screaming and being idiots. Unfortunately, we still have that today. In the United States right now, we still have that going on. It's still considered hate speech, but it is also considered freedom of speech. To a point. The thing is, Skokie, Illinois could control the event. They gave them, the Nazi Party, a place and a time for them to do it. And the Nazi Party like, you can't do that. We have the First Amendment right. We have the Supreme Court. They said, They said you have the right to protest. We are controlling the venue. There was no ruling in the lower courts heading up to the upper courts. I don't know what happened after that. But we do know about Westboro throughout the decades
That's what
trying to do their own damn crap.
Suzanne.
And they get laughed at and they get nailed left and right. They get sometimes surrounded and heckled like crazy. They want to raise up the hell. They want to raise up the hell and damnation. They're going to get their ass kicked on that one. You were talking about Megyn Kelly supporting Donald Trump, even if he had threatened to nuke a city. It reminded me of a movie called Failsafe. This was done. The film was done as an accident, but also had racial and hatred tendencies in the film. If I'm not mistaken, it was when you're built up with so much Cold War mentality at this point. I'm going to put you on mute so I can focus on this one. In my own observations and looking at things like this, we had the Cold War. We had the hatred against the Russians. Didn't matter if the people or the government, didn't matter. They were Russians. They were hated. We had this scare. We had this fear of communism, taking away everything we had, and we're still going crazy. We're still going crazy to this day on those kind of issues. But what we're dealing with at that time was we both had super weapons. We both had super hydrogen bombs. More powerful than an atomic nuke during those days, an atomic bomb. And we were also afraid of getting into a slugfest. 1963 scared the crap out of us when, Kennedy's assassination. How about earlier than that, 62? The Cuban Missile Crisis. That scared the crap out of us, Ed. I remember reading about that one, doing reports on that one back in high school. Even seeing films on it. Actual, and also the documentaries that came up from time to time. And it still scares the hell out of me. Because we came close to having a nuke fest. Installing nuclear weapon missile launchers, mobiles, on Cuba, 90 miles off the coast of Florida. Not cool. But in the film Failsafe is when the computer gave the wrong commands and locked out, and there was all technical glitches going on. It enabled Russia to have Moscow nuked by United States bombers. And the president said he was going to destroy New York City, which he did in the film, in order to keep Russia from retaliating. New York City was one of those cities that a major metropolis and a lot of commercial banking and other things go through it. A crippling effect to the United States. And if it got nuked, bad enough in Washington it gets nuked. We have other places, but command and control, that's challenging enough even in our time right now. But during that time, the command and controls were in different places altogether, including NORAD, Cheyenne Mountain. But New York had to be blown up by the United States. And the film had to be to keep Russia from going tit for tat. The thing that Megyn said, if Reagan was going to do a nuke a city, she said she'd still vote Republican. I know they came out about a week ago on this one. I don't get it. What's the absolute devotion to the guy? When we actually had the elections back in 2016, or when the campaigning came about 2014, I was in school during that time. I didn't think this bastard was going to get in. Not 2015, actually. Second semester I took Political Science 101 when Trump was running. And they had the Republican candidates being trolled out and debated. And I'm seeing Trump gaining points because he's doing his charm. The thing of it is, Trump's been in the charm business ever since his great-grandfather, the family line. Yeah, I found some research on that one somewhere. So Trump's got the gift of the gab. And he was gabbing away, and I didn't think this guy would win. Instead, he won in 2016. With the Republicans wanting Trump's support because Trump had money, supposedly. And they wanted it. Power, prestige, money. That's what they wanted. So, power, money, and prestige. It's very insane, Ed. It's very insane. Why? Because we're attracted to power, money, and prestige. Seductive, elusive. We want. I gotta take care of another matter, but I'll do another video when I can.